Egypt's political future will become clearer this week as the country heads for its first ever democratic vote. One possible winner of the presidential election is former Foreign Minister and Arab League chief Amr Moussa. Yousef caught up with the candidate in Cairo this weekend and started by asking him if he would pursue plans for a multi-billion-dollar loan from the IMF.
I will certainly do that. And I hope that this government, the current government, will do all the preparations and the necessary groundwork to have this deal signed very soon. That's number one. Number two.
Well, what's very soon? Very
soon, if they can do it in a month or two, but if not, then it will be done. It will be done. It has to be done. The Suez Canal and those projects, they are not going to be financed by the government or the public sector. It is open for the private sector, inside and outside. Those are projects. This is I'm talking about vistas of opportunity for investments and doing something very useful, very lucrative also in terms of income.
But let's shift gears a little bit, talk about the economy. You have unemployment and inflation that are still high, and growth and investor confidence are still low.
Yes.
What are some of the key steps that you plan to take to turn it around?
Security will have to be re-established, reintroduced very quickly in order to send a clear message to the population of Egypt that Egypt is coming back to normal, where the police will take care of protecting the families, the individuals, the roads, schools, etc. When the Egyptian citizen feels secure, this will open the door for any other visitor, foreigner, etc., will feel the same. This opens the door for tourism, investments, and so on. I'm putting that in simple terms, but this is the real thing.
Yeah.
And that would make the economy starts rolling. I believe in the free economy, and we have to open up. No question about that. We'll take all necessary measures to put that into effect.
Speaking of all necessary measures, when it comes to the projected growth, we've seen some ambitious targets from some of the candidates, 10% over the next year. You have the government budget, which foresees growth between 4 to 4.5%. What do you think is realistic?
What realistic is to double up this percentage from the growth into 2 to 3, very quickly, or as quickly as we can. Talking about 10%. I don't think it is practical, but it could be achieved perhaps in the next decade.
Well, let's pick it up with Yousef then in Cairo. And Yousef, you've given us the profile of one very important candidate, but what does the rest of the field look like?
Well, Jeff, you need to remember that as much as Amr Moussa scored quite highly with the pre-election surveys, there are quite a few other candidates who have a good chance, to say the very least, to secure the top position when it comes to leading the country, and those include several different camps. Now, the way analysts usually divide them up is you have the Islamist camp, and there are several in that camp, including Mohammed Morsi. He is the chairman and leads the Muslim Brotherhood, the party that dominates the parliament as well, and that's where you have some of the fears coming in terms of a complete Islamist-driven government that could possibly form as a result of him gaining power if he does win in those elections. And then you have the leftist camp, and interestingly here, Jeff, there's quite a bit of popularity here as well with Hamdin Sabahi, and he's a guy who promotes policies from back in the 60s, some of the Nasserist policies, a bit of a unionist, a person who advocates the rights of laborers and of course consumer rights as well and consumer protection. And then you have the mainstream a little bit, the ones that are associated with the former regime, secularist perhaps, and those include Amr Moussa, but there are some who are going to take votes away from him. Those include the former Minister of Civil Aviation, Ahmed Shafi, but they also include some other military figures as well. So it's quite a diverse spectrum, and that is going to make for a very interesting election later on this week, Jeff.
OK, Yousef, thank you very much for that. Yousef joining us out of Cairo.